do I believe in science? That depends on what science you're actually talking about. Do you think you know everything there is to know on any given topic? Think again.
Well, think again!
Have you become this know-it-all who stops asking questions because the school system basically gave you your degree and then said that you know everything there is to know on your given subject? I have some words for you today. I want to help you guys ask the right questions and get back to learning more and becoming actually smart people. We're back with another episode of Hard Truths.
I want the truth!
The truth? You want the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Can you guys handle the truth about how little you actually know and how much you need to be questioning? Let's get to it. What's happening, YouTube fam? Jared Weiss back here with another video on the Jared and James channel. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video. Follow me on every platform. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Rumble, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, to all my sit-down talking-based videos too. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, wherever you guys listen, I'm there. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about why it's so important to be a lifelong student of life and of every topic that you're delving into, and how to get better at questioning things. And of course, we're going to be diving into some hard truths. So recently on one of my hard truths videos, I was asked this question, which is, do I believe in science? And I don't think the question was coming from a bad place. I appreciate all questions as long as they're not laced with insults or hatred in any way.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Although I always respond with kindness to everyone because I believe in putting out positive energy into the world. And so I believe that if you respond to me with negativity, then that's going to be more of a reflection on you as opposed to me. It's my job in this world to spread positivity, to help people out, to inspire them. So anyways, this one question came in asking me if I actually believe in science. That depends. Are you talking about actually using the scientific method, questioning things, going deeper and deeper, constantly refining the methods, using discretion, using critical thinking to get you to your answer? Or are you talking about this religion of scientism, which is essentially indoctrination, and it's almost become religion, where you stop questioning things, where you just accept what you're told,
We just do what the invitations say!
as truth because it comes from authority, or because some guy wearing a white coat tells you that that's the answer, and that you just have to accept that because that's what it is. So back when I was in school, I was never satisfied whenever someone would tell me that the answer was something just because that's what it is. I always want to go deeper. I always want to ask more questions. I always want to find out why, because that's how you actually learn, and that's how you truly level up your knowledge. So for instance, when it comes to things such as Koch's postulates, which aren't followed when it comes to germ theory, or when it comes to the people in power or the people at NASA trying to convince you that the sun is 93 million miles away,
How, Sway? You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
or that we live on the spinning ball that spins 1,000 miles per hour, and that water can curve, even though none of those things actually adhere to the scientific method. And trust me, I could go a whole lot deeper into those subjects, and I probably will in future videos or in future podcasts with certain guests who I'm planning on having on. But as you guys have heard me speak about in the past, the school system wants you to just do as you're told, be a loyal subject.
Everyone's been brainwashed since school. That teaches you how to be a good little cog in the machine and work really, really hard.
And stop critical thinking for yourself and stop asking these questions. But as soon as you stopped learning, as soon as you stopped inquiring to know more, that's honestly the moment that you start dying, I believe, and that your whole creativity shuts down and that your mind starts becoming weaker. Anyone can just regurgitate what they're told onto a test a million times over and over again, but it takes a real smart person and a real critical thinker to do the research for themselves, to explore different viewpoints, and to arrive at their conclusions and their answers only after doing the research themselves, as well as trusting your perceptions. Because think about it, how are they telling us that the sun is 93 million miles away? I mean, think about how far that is. But if you look up, you see the sun right there. It's local. It's within the firmament, I believe. We'll get into that in future videos more so. but just trying to introduce you to this topic because we go deep, homeboy, and I'm not afraid to talk about anything. I'm not afraid of any of my beliefs because I try my best to walk in truth, to shed light on some of these important topics, to help you level up your own lives, and to gain knowledge as to who you truly are and what you were put on this earth to do. And another thing, think about this. Why can't we go to Antarctica? Have any of you ever looked into the Antarctic Treaty? Have any of you ever looked into the possibility that maybe we're actually surrounded by this massive ice wall and that maybe there's actually land beyond that? Maybe is that what extraterrestrial actually means? If you're not asking these questions, how will you ever know? So rather than calling people crazy just because they don't want to just accept what they've been told by the school system, by the mainstream media, do the research yourselves, and you may actually realize how little you actually know and how much more there is out there. Have any of you ever looked into Operation Fishbowl, Dominic? Have any of you ever looked into any of this hidden history? Have any of you ever explored the Chicago World's Fair? Have you looked into some ancient maps and why they have this country as Tartaria listed there? Have you ever explored whether these things that like they call this have actually been isolated, and have they ever been found to cause disease in people? Have any of you ever actually looked into the numbers that like they tell you to find the shape of the earth, and do they actually make sense to you? Or have you just accepted them as truth and then shut yourself off to any questioning because this indoctrination started at such a young age? And that's why I believe in not just trusting someone just because this person is an authority figure, just because the person tells you that you're stupid if you don't believe them, that you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. Because I see it this way. If I'm going to be called a crazy conspiracy theorist because I'm actually asking questions, because I'm actually trusting my own perceptions, I'm actually diving deeper into the research as opposed to blindly trusting an authority figure just because I'd get censored if I don't, and I get shadow banned if I don't, I'd much rather be the person who gets called crazy for actually exploring these topics deeper. I'd much rather be called crazy than to just be a blind sheep who just follows orders and does as I'm told, because that would not be embracing my purpose here on this earth. And don't get me wrong, there are good people out there who are doing their own research, who are trying to open up people's minds to the truth. And so the people who are actually doing independent research, these are people who could be trusted a little bit more, but like it's still up to you to look into these things more for yourselves. And as I spoke about during the Hard Truths video, talking about the truth about most health studies, look into who's funding them, look into who's promoting them.
America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
Why is it that the same corrupt people are always wanting you to believe the same things, whether it be when it comes to the whole food industry? If the people telling you that all meat, even 100% grass-fed, grass-finished organic beef is bad for you, if that research is coming from people who have an interest in promoting veganism or an interest in promoting lab-grown meat, or who are the largest owners of farmlands and who have this agenda to get you not to be your best, healthiest self, then you shouldn't be blindly believing these people. If your perceptions are clearly telling you one thing, but like this textbook or this teacher is telling you something different, a lot of times your perceptions are actually telling you what's right and the truth, and you're just being told to stop believing your own perceptions because this is how they get you away from God, away from trusting your own gifts, and this is how they try to keep you down and to make you think that you're just a small nothing in this grand universe and that you've no purpose here and that you just landed here by accident. I mean, think about it. Why do they want you believing in this whole Big Bang Theory? Why do they want you believing in this religion of science when they say things such as like trust the science, even though the science like they're talking about isn't actually questioning things, isn't actually following any scientific method, it's just trusting them because they say so. And because they have an agenda in promoting these falsehoods and these lies. Moving right along, there's going to be times where it's going to be more beneficial to be the teacher, and there's going to be other times where it's more beneficial to be the student. So for instance, if you actually dove into this research, if you actually trusted your own perceptions, followed a long line of questioning, and you think you've arrived at some truths, then it's important to inspire others with this, to teach others, as doing this will also reinforce your own beliefs, because as I remember hearing once, when you teach things to other people, you actually absorb it 90% better. But then there's going to be other times where it's up to you to sit back, acknowledge how little you actually know.
I know nothing.
But like have this willingness to learn.
I'm here to learn, everybody.
From people who have no bias, from people who have no agenda, from people who truly want to explore certain topics. Always go into things with an open mind, because as soon as you start closing yourself off, as soon as you consider yourself to be a know-it-all, as soon as you consider yourself to be someone who can't go any further, then I believe you've already lost. you've already shut yourself down to so much that's out there. Because as I believe to an extent, the only thing I'll know with 100% certainty is that I'll never know anything with 100% certainty. I mean, obviously I have certain perceptions, I have my senses, and so there are definitely things that I could feel. Next, as something that I'm going to speak about with Josh when he comes on is, and maybe I even spoke about this with Chance, or as I'm going to speak about with Chance Garden when he comes on the podcast, is this idea of AI. So I think that the reason why the people in power are pushing so hard with this agenda of AI is because it's this way of once again getting us to outsource our knowledge, outsource our power, to trust this alternative authority. But like, think about it. AI is going to be programmed by these people. So essentially, you're just going to be outsourcing to the same people as before. It's just that they want you giving up your power, giving up your own discretion, giving up your own perceptions to this technology that's going to be designed to do all the work for you.
Move now. I'm going to service.
Please remain indoors. This is for your own protection.
But like, as I said before, the moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop learning, is actually the moment you start dying and you start going on this downward spiral, downward trajectory. You go into these lazy patterns. I mean, I've always been interested in reading books and trying to know more and trying to level up my knowledge. But like, it's also important to be able to apply this knowledge, because just having knowledge doesn't give you power. It's actually being able to apply it to your life and using it to help others. And another major problem I have with the whole school system and with all the school-based learning, even though I obviously have plenty of issues with it, but one of my main issues is this idea of training people to believe that like as soon as they get this degree or as soon as they complete school, that learning is done. So you know everything there is to know about that subject. Because as I've learned, much of what I learned turned out to not be true. Much of it turned out to be lies.
Fake.
But like, the only reason I even explored the topics deeper was due to my personal experience and due to my personal desire to never stop learning. Whether it came to holistic health, what I realized was that much of my schooling was designed around pushing pharmaceuticals, was designed around getting you into the hospital system, trusting whatever the people wearing the white coats were telling you, as opposed to getting to this place where you could actually listen to your own body, and where you could actually be your own best doctor, along with maybe having some guides to help you along. But like, nature is always going to have the best medicine. Movement is going to be medicine. Certain herbs are going to be very helpful. Detoxification measures are going to be helpful. But like, the whole school system basically taught me that like the only way to help people is by giving them pharmaceuticals, is by getting them into the whole medical system. Because who's funding the schools? The medical system, Rockefeller Medicine. So what makes you think that like they're actually going to push things that are actually designed to help people become healthy? Moreover, when it comes to Andreas Saltas, body mechanic, as I learned from him, you could go to the same schools as all these other chiropractors.
A wise man once taught me the healing power of the body's natural pressure points. He sells t-shirts outside the World Trade Center. From pain will come pleasure.
That pain is totally gone.
What's even more amazing is his formal training is in pediatrics.
There's all these other medical professionals out there. But like, how is it that someone like him knows a million times more than all these other people out there? Is because he learned from personal experience. He never stopped learning. He's always taking things a step further, building on his knowledge base, refining, retooling, because he never just wants to accept that he knows everything there is to know, because as soon as you do that, something's going to come up into your life that's going to prove you wrong, or it's going to make you question whether you actually do know everything. And if you don't actually go down this road, then you're going to be shutting yourself off from helping yourself and from helping others and from gaining new power. Next up, I think that a lot of people look down on conspiracy theorists, quote unquote, which is actually a term that was created by the CIA to get you to look down on people who are actually questioning things.
Gibby, you have a question?
Yes. How many fat cakes are in that tank?
There's so much not right about you.
That's a topic for another video. But my personal belief is that being a conspiracy theorist, or being someone who doesn't just blindly trust whatever the people in power tell them, and being someone who actually takes things a step further and questions everything, I think a lot of people out there look down that and try to tell you, why don't you just do as you're told? Why don't you just believe the mainstream media? Why don't you just believe doctors? These people have gone to school for 9 years. These people know more than you. Why don't you just believe NASA? Because why would they ever lie to you? It's not like $19 billion of our tax dollars are going there every year. You're so stupid. You're crazy. Why can't you just follow orders and do as you're told? Because I believe there's more to life than what the whole indoctrination system would have you believe. I believe there's a lot of things that we haven't been told. I believe there's always more. There's always another level of knowledge to go deeper into. And so I think being someone who questions everything and being a quote unquote conspiracy theorist, I think it actually makes life life a whole lot more fun, and I think makes life a whole lot more interesting. Because when you shut yourself off to new knowledge, when you shut yourself off to the possibility that what you were told might not be the truth, you can then open yourself up to realizing that maybe you weren't an expert, and that maybe you always will be learning, and maybe some things you might never get down to the bottom of, but like the further you go and the more research you do, the closer you will get to the ultimate truth. So you might be wrong on some things, you might get looked at as crazy, but like I think it's a lot more fun to be someone who's in the realm of questioning everything, and you're gonna get way closer to the truth. You're gonna find out things that other people never would have explored because they thought they knew it all after going through the whole school system. And sometimes it's fun to just question things with no restraints. I mean, when I was a little kid, and I'm sure a lot of other little kids out there, I used to annoy all the adults out there because I would constantly ask questions. I would always say, why?
Sean! See how annoying that is?
And a lot of them would get annoyed with me, but like, a lot of that led me to the person I am now. Led me to this smart person, I believe.
You smart. You very smart.
As many of you guys have told me in the past, you believe too. But like, I didn't get to this point just by following orders, just by trusting the people in authority, trusting the people in power. I think the only way to actually become a smart person is to first start off by acknowledging what you don't know, acknowledging what beliefs have just been indoctrinated into you, and what beliefs you never actually took the time to peel back and to find whether there actually is truth beneath the layers. A lot of it is about stripping away what you thought you knew and actually doing the research for yourself, to discovering how much you don't know, and then ultimately arriving at real hard truth. Another thing I want to add, back in high school, I used to think that I knew everything there was to know about health and fitness because I was reading Men's Fitness magazine, I was on their website, and I used to pay attention a lot in school. So I thought to myself at the time that even though maybe I didn't know everything, because I was always trying to level up my knowledge and I was always trying to learn more, because I'm someone who's never satisfied with just having this answer and then thinking like that is the only answer and that there's nothing else beneath that layer. But then through my own health experience, through my own life-threatening illness, through my own healing journey that I've been on for the past several years, I've been able to open myself up to learning so much more when it comes to what healing really is, how the body actually works, how important the mind is and the belief system is in healing. And I only got here by being proven wrong, essentially. And so being proven wrong isn't the end of the world. It's actually an invitation to finding what's actually right and to finding truth. So a lot of people take this as a threat to their belief system, and so a lot of people will take it personally.
It became personal with me.
As soon as someone adds knowledge to them that might disprove their prior beliefs or what they thought prior was the truth. But like, don't see it as a bad thing. See it as an invitation to go further. See it as an invitation that God and the universe are inviting you to find actual truth, to help others on their purpose, on their paths. So anyways, I implore you guys to be looking into some of these topics for yourselves. Even if you guys think I'm crazy, do the research yourselves, find what actual truth is, take things a step further. I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video. We out here. Peace.